So was it different drying and curing wheat in your setup?
That's a great question. So traditionally, how it's been done is drying and curing has been a two-step process. You take the flour, you put it in an environment to dry it, a low relative humidity, and you're constantly removing water. So at some point, you need to stop the drying process, and then take that flour and put it into a jar, a container, some sealed vessel. Otherwise, it's going to just keep drying and turn to dust. So that's step one is drying, and then you put it in the sealed container, and we call it curing. And also what happens is if you put it in a jar, a sealed container, and the drying wasn't completed, there was still free available water, the flour can go moldy. So what people would do is they would open up the vessel and call it burping. Well, It depends on what the environment is outside that jar. When you open it, you might be letting in wet air, you might be letting in dry air. So there's not a whole lot of science to it. But it was this multi-step process. And there was guesswork. When do we arrest the drying and then move it into a sealed container? What we do is completely different. What we're doing is maintaining the right condition. We like to call it sous-vide for weed, where you just leave the flour there. It's going to come to equilibrium, just like cooking sous vide. It comes to equilibrium with the temperature. In our case, it's coming to equilibrium with vapor pressure. And then you can leave it there. You're not going to, like sous vide, overcook it. With us, you just leave it there and it holds. So very different. It's an analogy of cooking in an oven or cooking sous vide.
Yeah, great. So your dryer and curer is not working like the humidifier, right?
Correct.
So it means that you don't need too much energy to dry.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Our home unit only draws about 50 watts of power.
Okay.
Very low.
It's great.
Yeah.
And once it, how long does it take to dry and cure?
Okay. So we usually find it takes about 4 days for the flour to come to a target water activity of 0.6. And at a 0.6 water activity, you have shelf stability, that the flour can no longer support the growth of mold and microbes because there's no longer enough free available water. Then we like to see about 4 more days for equilibrium and really curing now to take place, which is going to be the transformation